the next part of episode 1. Today I'm down on the Dorset coastline. Joining me is Eddie and Will, and the target for today is small-eyed ray. Biggest tides, and fingers crossed we can pull something out. As you saw last night, we got dogged right out, and it's just an hour's game. I'm sure we put another few sessions in over the next few weeks, and we'll see a small-eyed or spotted out. They're about, but not in numbers, and especially on that coastline, it's an hour's game. So we're up here today. The venue I've chosen to fish is, it normally fishes throughout the state of the tide. A lot of the marks either on top of the tide or low water, but this one here, it seems to be throughout the tide, incoming, outgoing. So I'm sure we'll see something out. Not the biggest venue for the biggest small-eyeds, may I add. I've had them to about 7 or 8 pounds on here, but having said that, it's still a nice fish. So, next part is we're going to go through a basic rig I use on this beach, and basically for 90% of the ray fishing I do, unless I'm targeting over rough ground, then I'll normally use a pulley rig. But let's get on with the rig. So the essentials you'll need for making your rig. Rig body, I use the Ultima Power Flex, the crystal. Then I've got Ultima Enigma sand, which I use for my trace lines. Very, very supple, lovely, makes a lovely trace line. Pair of scissors, few little beads, Gemini swivel link clip. Now I love using these, and I'll go through that in a minute why. A Gemini bent link clip, and some power swivels. For my hooks, I've got a Chinyu, that is a 5.0. I've got some 4.0s and 3.0s there as well, depending what mark you're choosing and how big your baits are. Then I've got a 3.0 Cox and Raw Predator Extra, and then I've got a 4.0 Cox and Raw Predator Extra. Depending on the pull of the tide is to determine how long you want to have your trace and your rig body. Now if I was fishing somewhere with a very strong tide, I try and keep it a lot shorter. And when I say shorter, I would say like maybe 3 foot, 3.5 foot. If I'm fishing over slack water with not much tide pull at all, I'll use a lot longer. Now the tide's ripping down here for today, so I'm going to use around 3 foot, just over 3 foot. Give it the extra. Then I'm going to tie on a power swivel. Basic turn knot, 4 times around, pull down through, bit of sliver, pull tight, perfect. Cut off the access, very strong. So then, I'm going to put a bead down through. I use the tiny beads. Then I'm going to put another power swivel. Then another bead. So what you've got at the moment, you've got a swivel, a bead, a swivel. So you've got the first one tied on, bead, right through the swivel, then a bead. Then you're going to take the Gemini bent link clip, and you're going to attach on a swivel onto that. Then hold it in your hand like that. You're going to put the line down through. Now it needs to go this way. I'll show you why in a minute. So it comes up like that, so. Then another bead. It's got the beads down through. Now the swivel link clip on the end. That's your main rig body. That down through, the slaver, cut off the access. So that's your rig body. A lot of people ask me about hooks. One of the most important things I think with fishing for your tackle, and you always need to make sure you're using a quality strong hook. I always find that in the Cox and Raw range, you always got a good quality hook no matter what part of the range you're using. So I've got the Predator Extra there. I'm going to use a 4.0 today. And then my top hook, which is a Chinyu. Absolutely superb hook, very, very strong. And I'll show you how I'll perform this in a minute. So, you've got your rig body next to your weight. So I've got a breakaway impact lead on there at the minute. So what I do is click this in onto the rig body. Now the reason I use these Gemini swiveling clips, as you'll see now, if I hold up the rig body like so, I can swing that lead round and the swivel link clip works perfectly to stop tangle of your trace. That's why I use them, absolutely cracking. Never had no problems. Sometimes if you use different clip, you'll get the line tangling around your rig body, and you definitely do not want that with ray fishing. You want to make sure your trace line is out the way completely, lying on the seabed, waiting for that ray to hover over, pick up your bait. Come down to your Gemini bent clip with your swivel on. This is where you tie your Enigma. Tie that onto the swivel, like so. So what I basically do is come around 4 times. Move that down through. Cut off the snag. There you go. That's all off. Now, bring this right up. So you've got your weight on the floor. Bring the link clip right up to the top, and then back down to the point where your hook would attach to your bait clip. Put your finger on the side there to get the length. Hold it like so. Cut. That simple. So with that, you've got your trace all set. Next thing is attach the hook. So what you do, you get your chinue. Put that down, right down through. Then I'm going to bring the line over and just bring it around a couple of times like that. That foot performs the pedal part of the rig. Next, Predator Extra 4-0. Bring them down around 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'll bring that down. Bring that back to the end of the hook so you've got your length there. Bit of slaver. And then what I'll do is I'll bring that back up now to the top. Strong as you like. Cut off the tag end. Perfect. Ready to get you a ray. So that's basically it. Pulley drop down rig. Top quality components, enabling you to get your fish to the shore. Put as much force into that as you want, and that won't break. Helps you to lever the fish. If you've got 7 or 8 pound small hides on, pretty easy. You start into double figure fish. Not so bad over clean ground. I remember getting together with one of the Dorset's top rods I know, Derek Smith, and I got to talking to Derek on the internet, and I actually I put a ray picture up, and he thought it was one of the beaches he fishes, and he thanked me for not putting the whereabouts. Like, obviously locals like to try and keep the little marks to themselves, like we all do, to be honest. It's a nightmare when loads of it all gets packed out and that. And I had it on a different beach, and he invited me along for a ray trip with him, and we went up there, and we hit this mark, and both of us had doubles out. I think I had a 10.4 and he had a 10.3, or was it 10.3, 10.2, it was like an ounce in it. And yeah, it was a good night fishing. But what I was using now, same setup as I'm using now compared to what he uses a 5.15 mag with a, trying to think what rod he had actually. I think it was any fish anywhere rod, match tournament or something, and he had a 15-pound line, 60-pound leader, and one single 3.0 hook, which he put halfway up the sand dune. And the guy has had some fantastic rays off this stretch of coastline. I mean, fantastic rays. I think he's had a blonde off here as well. I'm not sure what the size was. I think it was around 16 or something like that. But some fantastic fishing. But it goes to show, sometimes you can tackle up too much. But this is what I use on my coastline, so this is what I'm going to use here. To be honest, I normally use a 5.0 work, and I've downsized to the mark I'm fishing today. But 2 rigs have been out already. been about 15-20 minutes now, so I'm going to put this one on with a sand eel bait, hooker's bait, and we'll get out there and we'll see if we can get a ray or two. See the boys coming up in the background now, Eddie and Will. See if we can get someone out today. So what we do normally, I've got my rig bar on my tripod. When I'm fishing venues like this, what I normally do is I've always got 2 extra rigs made up, which I clip to the top, ready. So as soon as I bring a rig in, it's not got a fish on it, unclip it, put my new baited rig on, straight back out. Enables you to be fishing in the water constantly. So exactly the same if I've got a fish on, take the fish off, or one of the boys is sorting the fish out, cast back out, way, get the fish returned as quick as possible. I've come across a company on the internet, Hooker's Baits. We've been finding it hard to get some nice sized sand eel, and unfortunately we managed to get some. Like I say, top quality sand eel, and this will get us some nice fish over the future episodes and parts to come. So let's get him out.